I'm in the Strzelecki Ranges. This is the Jack River area, south side of the Grand Ridge Road, and I'm in an area called the Brataualung Forest Reserve. Long complicated story, but in 2018 the Victorian state government handed back about 1,600 hectares of land in a deal that will end up being about 8,000 hectares by 2027. This land was managed by Hancock Victorian Plantations, and then a deal that was forged back as long ago as 2006. The main instigators there were Friends of the Earth, Friends of Gippsland Bush, and Westwood. We had a deal that the state government would buy back key rainforest catchments in the Strzelecki Ranges, including this one, the Jack River, from Hancock. The Kennett government had sold this area off in '96. And then John Thwaites in 2006 agreed with our idea that all the rainforest catchments in the Strzelecki's need 250 metre buffers. However, Hancock and Gavin Jennings from the Labor government disagreed, and another deal was done in 2008, excluding the community that worked its guts out to get a result, and it allowed for logging of 1,500 hectares of the reserve in what Hancock claimed were planted mountain ash forests. Then the agreement also specified that after the logging, the area would be regenerated, the areas logged would be regenerated back and then retired, and then added to the reserve system once the regen had met an applicable standard. So where I am today is an area in the Jack River near a tract that used to be called Dubois Tract. Not anymore, they've changed the names. And this is one of the areas that were planted out probably, I think it was about 2010. So what you're in here is 11-year-old regeneration with some planting as well. And you can see the trees that were planted, and some of them still have the little nets that protect the young trees from browsing animals. So yeah, these trees are now about 12 years old, and they're growing back quite nicely. There's a lot of silver wattle and other understory species that have come in as well. This area here looks like it's been dug out by lyrebirds, and you can hear lyrebirds in the distance. There's one now. They're really the untold heroes of the southeast forests, I think. There's a old tree guard that didn't quite make it. And so yeah, I've just come in here because I'm interested in finding if any koalas have moved back in. I haven't found any traces of them yet in this little patch, but that's probably to be expected though. The koalas prefer larger girth trees, and these are really just babies. So if we wouldn't have got this deal done, this entire area would be converted into pine plantations, which is what Hancock's doing. So we've effectively put the brake on the conversion of cool temperate rainforest buffers into pine plantations. So I guess that's a win. The other thing I failed to mention here is that the rainforest, probably 200 metres from here, is of state and national significance. So our plan was to protect those rainforest catchments from any disturbances, but the state government and Hancock balked at that. And so I guess what this is the compromise. So we weren't happy the logging happened, and this is the result. But you know, in 20 years time we could be looking at a much more impressive type of forest. There's another tree guard from 11 years ago that hasn't cracked it. So a lot of these species, the understory species, are already dropping off. The silver wattle, which is quite prolific in places, that'll probably not last much longer either. And eventually this will start to resemble a eucalypt forest. I mean, if you look through there, that's mainly silver wattle that's come up, not planted, that's just natural regen. There's another tree guard on a less spectacular, I think it's a mountain ash. And through here it's mainly silver wattle, so this is the edge of the replanting. So the silver wattles come in. It's a colonizer species, you know, and if you're looking at, if this was a human body, you'd say the scab was the open wound of the clear cut, and the silver wattle and the colonizing species help heal the scab. And the eucalypts in these locations are the healthy skin sort of emerging after mass disturbance. So yeah, it could come back in here in 20 years or so, and these trees will be much bigger, and hopefully we'll get the koalas moving in quite soon. Thanks.